Having flown flight simulators since I had an Atari with a tape deck, I always hoped that one day the technology would advance far enough to fly low level, in VR, over my house and through the valleys where I live. It's been a 30-year wait, but it's been worth it. After entering the low flying area at Arnside Viaduct, we head for Bassenthwaite Village, making a hard left over the Lakeside Steam Railway Yard, and then a hard right over the Lakeland Motor Museum. This is one of the few areas in Cumbria where flight sim tree coverage seems correct. We're now aiming up the River Leven over the village of Newby Bridge and starting our run up Windermere at Lakeside. It's a long lake, about 10 miles long, and even though we're flying at 400 miles per hour, covering 6.5 miles a minute, it gives me a chance to look back and appreciate Tim in the lovely looking Frecce Tricolore colour scheme jet. I'm honestly pinching myself at this point. I'm convinced I'm in a real plane. We're just coming up to Bowness and Windermere on the right, but I'll miss out the old World War II Sunderland flying boat factory at Whitecross Bay and skip us straight to Ambleside. There was some annoying reflection effects on this section of the lake that spoiled the video. Hopefully the forthcoming UK update will fix these. And while I'm criticising the sim, small streams like this one below us show us massive flooded rivers. Maybe that's intentional. I suppose Cumbria is a pretty wet county. A hard left now to Rydal Water and switching into a tight right over Grasmere. As we fly over Grasmere village, we're looking for the A591 going up Dunmail Raise. Dunmail Raise is a popular location for spotters and photographers, and there's some fantastic low-level photography from this spot posted on the Cumbrian Aviation Facebook group. The headsets we're using are Occulus Rift S, and this 2D video just doesn't do them justice. You really have to put the headset on to appreciate how convincing the 3D world around you is. Having that depth perception makes flying so much easier, especially formation flying, and the sim allows you to quickly switch between VR and 2D mid-flight. I was glad of this the first few times I used it because VR can make you feel a bit motion sick. Over Thirlmere now, with Helvellyn high above us on the right, and before we get to the dam at the north end of Thirlmere, it's a right turn at Great How, and then down St John's in the Vale, where at the moment it looks so flooded I'm beginning to wonder if the Thirlmere dam has burst. I'm only noticing these minor bugs now that I'm watching it back, and it didn't spoil the flying experience because the rest of the scenery is so good. Keeping clear of Keswick to the south of the town and over Derwent Water, we turn right towards the only lake in the Lake District, Bassenthwaite Lake. Remember that fact for your next pub quiz. Maybe LFA17 could be renamed as the Bass Loop. The big mountain here to the north of Bassenthwaite is Skiddaw. Some of the reflection effects do seem a bit extreme, but that could be something to do with my settings. If you're watching this and you have any ideas on how to fix these strange canopy and water reflection effects, then please comment. As we cross the western shore of Bass Lake, we exit the low flying area and head southwest back towards Barrow-in-Furness. Here we pass the imposing mountain Black Combe that seems to grow straight out of the Duddon estuary near Millen. It would be rude not to use these jets as the Italian Air Force intended, so so as we fly through the overhead back at Walney, we'll have a go at a formation loop. At the time of making this video, there were only 2 fast jets available for Flight Sim 2020. The other was a Eurofighter Typhoon, but in comparison to this jet developed by IndiaFoxTecho, the level of detail didn't look as good. The price seemed fair for the Typhoon if you felt the need for speed though. Neither of us have read any of the instructions for the jet, but the MBB339 is really intuitive to fly. IndiaFox have done a really good job. Most of the flight, the multiplayer connection was really smooth, but as we exit this loop, you'll notice my plane jumping around in relation to Tim, trying to keep formation on it. As we look out over Barrow Shipyard, you can see that the 3D buildings are pretty representative of what is there in real life. But in more rural areas, it would seem that every farmer in Cumbria has at least one tower block. Hopefully this will change come the next UK update. Now that we can see there are no gliders from Lakes Gliding Club on the runway, I'll turn this music down and let you hear a bit of the engine noise. Thanks for watching, and I'll put the specs of the computers we used in the description below.